Hello, welcome back everyone to Crypto's News. Here, your source for what is trending in crypto to make sure that you stay on top of things. And as usual, I've collected a lot of the day's events to make sure that you are on top of things. And we're going to be diving into that. It's a good day today when it comes to Ethereum. Ethereum is up nicely. It's up 4.5%. Wow, the biggest gainer in the top 10. When was the last time that we had that? Love to see it. And we have it at $3,265.08. Bitcoin is sitting at $104,798, rebounding back after some of the lows recently where it touched around $98,000, partially because of threats of tariffs causing risk assets to go down, but it seems to have recovered that, and now it's probably setting up a nice support level of over $100,000. And I do struggle to think of what will be the next major, I guess, crucial psychological point for Bitcoin. I would assume it's probably $150,000. And I think there's going to be room for some of these other coins to climb, and Ethereum may be finally lighting up. I've been talking about how it looked like maybe the ratio was bottoming out. Turns out the day I did that video, no, it had not bottomed out. It continued down, but it is now recovering nicely. It is at a 10.6% dominance versus Bitcoin's 56% dominance. Market caps overall for cryptos at $3.705 trillion, up 0.3%. And if you're going to do some transactions on Ethereum, today is a good day for that. 1.57 Gwei is the average transaction fee. So get it done. If you're going to be moving to layer 2 to try to get some transactions through, now would probably be the time. Or if you're trying to get, I guess, funds out of it, yeah, now would be a fantastic time. It's interesting, though, here, when we look at a lot of these websites like CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, you really just see ETH here, ETH fees. What about Bitcoin fees? Does no one care about Bitcoin fees? Hey, what's going up, two guys? Natty? Hey, absolutely, man. Happy to have another Dominican brother out there, man. Que lo que? And Quentin, nice to see you here as always, my brother. Yeah, we're getting that revenge, dude. And Wendell, yeah, I'm always bullish. It just depends on the time frame, right? Over the medium to long term, to me, it's a no-brainer. Absolutely, cryptocurrency. That's why I started doing these videos and doing them almost every day, because inflation is not going away. If there's any cure for inflation, it is nothing that the governments have proposed, which is destroying their central banks really and eliminating fiat currency in favor of Bitcoin or something similar, right? That would actually be trusted and decentralized. Really no talk about replacing fiat with this stuff. They're just finally adding it to reserve. So we still got a long time to go, my friends, before really the ultimate utopia dream, I guess, of us crypto bros comes true. Or maybe we're all delusional, but so far, I don't know. Since 2009, we've been pretty damn spot on in the crypto market. Shout out Satoshi. Anyway, yeah, this fun meme. It's actually the top one on the cryptocurrency Reddit. ETH at $3,000 in 2021. Dang, it looks so good, right? Touching ETH for the first time at $3,000, and then now at $3,000 still in 2025. It just doesn't hit the same, I guess you could say. We got to aim bigger and higher, bros. But yeah, catching on with the euphoria of ETH is not just myself and maybe some of you guys here in the chat. What up, Validator Renee? So we also have Cointelegraph writing on X. Ethereum is currently trading at $3,273.28, up 5.09% today, while Bitcoin is at $105,472, up 2.6%. This indicates that Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin as investors shift capital into ETH. Maybe reading a little bit into the tea leaves here. But yeah, I appreciate the enthusiasm, Cointelegraph. And there's this thread here as well by Vivek, who looks like he is heading up a company called Etherealize that is trying to promote Ethereum for inclusion into institutional structures. So maybe trying to like get the next MicroStrategy for Ethereum out there, but he wrote, "We are not bulled up enough about ETH. It's been 1 week since the inauguration, and entire Ethereum ecosystem has been reborn," he writes. Let's see why. 5 reasons why ETH now has structural, not cyclical tailwinds for 2025 and beyond. So when we're talking about tailwinds, we are talking about these kind of long tails, these extended duration periods. So let's dive in here. Number 1, Trump and his World Liberty Fi team that we've been talking about on the show are both building on and buying ETH. Ethereum is the gold standard and the most secure platform for DeFi, and ETH is the primary reserve asset for the digital economy. This is the art of the deal. Fade at your peril. And then he points at what we've been covering when it comes to World Liberty buying wrapped Bitcoin, buying ETH, buying Aave, buying Tron, buying Chainlink. We don't talk about Tron. I'm kidding. Anyway, the buy-side asset managers, hedge funds are vocally all in on tokenization. So he points at that BlackRock quote that we also covered on the show this week. The digital future is inevitable. Stocks, bonds, all assets will be tokenized on public blockchains. Tokenize everything. Although, like, you know, our saying here on the show is decentralize everything. I get it. Tokenize everything is a little bit more attractive to some of these Wall Street bros. And all roads for tokenization flow through Ethereum. The sell-side investment banks are all embracing crypto functionality. And what is the safest, most secure blockchain with programmatic finance capability? Ethereum. And then he points at the articles, the headlines from Morgan Stanley CEO that I also mentioned, Bank of America CEO saying financial industry will jump into crypto payments if regulators allow it. And we heard from Jerome Powell just yesterday talking about how any client with crypto can currently have no problem engaging with banks. So them being able to custody it is something that's going to be even easier with the repeal of this SAB 121, I believe it is. This made it difficult for them to custody crypto assets as assets, where they would instead have to be labeled, it's 121, I apologize, be labeled as liabilities. One of the biggest catalysts for Wall Street adoption of the SAB 121 repeal. SAB 121 is worth a focus article beyond 280 characters. Suffice to say, the floodgates are open for banks to custody ETH, Bitcoin, and tokenized assets on balance sheets. 5, staked ETH ETFs are likely on the horizon. Something else that we're looking at as a potential catalyst here for ETH. The new SEC is pro thoughtful innovation and will now see more accelerated support for crypto ETFs. And the first order of business, the lowest hanging fruit, is adding staking to ETH ETFs and allowing in-kind redemption. Remember, in this new renaissance, all roads lead through Ethereum. Institutional blockchains, ETH. We've seen them announce it time and time again. Tokenization, ETH. Programmatic, I can't say that word today. Programmatic finance, ETH. Stablecoins, ETH. See, we can't say programmatic here in Ethereum world, so we just say stuff like ProgPow. Oh, man. Anyway, Ethereum is a new operating system for the global economy, and you are not bullish enough, ETH. I don't know. I still feel pretty dang bullish about ETH. I'm happy, but I guess he's speaking to those who are currently sitting and watching ETH with these low sentiments, posting crap like this on the on the cryptocurrency subreddit. Yeah, they'll learn. Kraken launches new on-chain staking product for U.S. clients. So this is related to a handout that came to Kraken. Kraken was the first crypto exchange that allowed staking, they announced in their blog post here. Back in 2019, they had a settlement with the SEC after losing a case for not having registered with the SEC to offer these products properly for staking different cryptocurrency assets, locking them up, getting some sort of yield, allowing clients to engage in this. So they basically admitted that they did nothing wrong. They did admit whether they were in the right or wrong. They paid $30 million to the SEC. They removed staking access in the U.S., used a subsidiary third-party provider to allow staking services outside of the U.S., and that was done until today. We just got the announcement that it's back. Kraken, probably the most trusted crypto exchange here in the United States, besides Coinbase and Gemini, one of the top 3 that I would always recommend for people trying not to get scammed or face liquidity issues or so many other things, right? And oh, if you want to withdraw, you need to send money to cover the fees. Oh, the fees have changed. You need to send more money to withdraw. Never get the withdraw email. It happens time and time again with these shadier exchanges. But anyway, Kraken is relaunching. They're opening it up to, I believe, 39 different states here. They have a website that you can find on their homepage that will list exactly what's going on in your jurisdiction. If that is of note to you, you'll be able to see what coins you can stake, what kind of rates you're going to get. They have something called flexible staking and bonded staking. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is, but bonded staking looks like it has higher yield there, where pretty much they just pool folks' crypto together, send that off to the validators who go ahead and take care of block production, validation, get spit out some fees, and that gets divvied out to bonded clients, right, in the form of rewards. Nice to see Kraken come back with this. We have had other companies such as Coinbase able to offer staking in limited capacity after this very aggressive SEC and prior SEC administration. And so it's great to see that this is going to be coming up back for you guys. Earn up to 17% APR on your crypto. Great news. I don't know if you guys had heard also, Gary Gensler, who had said, yeah, you did not disclose risks appropriately to customers and clients, so give us $30 million. Anyway, Gary Gensler is going to be teaching a class at MIT, a blockchain class, going back woohoo to it. Man, that was the greatest quote, actually, that Eric Voorhees had put out. I got to find that for you guys. I had retweeted it and forgot to put it in this show, and I thought it was so funny. Every crypto company should boycott MIT grads until Gary is fired. What a way to ruin the reputation of such an illustrious institution. We can use peace and our own market discretion, where Gary used coercion and extortion. Now, this is not the quote that I was trying to find. If I find it, I will share it again with you guys. It was hilarious. It was someone else, actually. And they were talking about how it would be so... I had to have reposted it. Let me see. Oh, yeah, here it is. There it is. Gary invites students to come in and register for courses, hands out syllabus with contradictory instructions for the take-home test with 4 different dates for the final, refuses to confirm a single student on the roster, reports them all to the dean for plagiarism, gives them Fs. That's pretty much how he operated in the crypto sphere. If you're not really getting what he's talking about here, is that he said, yeah, come in and register. Just come in and register to all these crypto companies. And there was no framework for registration. Much time wasted in meetings with the SEC to no avail under his administration. So hopefully his new students at MIT fare better, but really someone who's been very catastrophic and stifled this space. So to see Kraken bring back staking is like nature is healing. And I like to see that. So I'm definitely cheering them on here. Are you guys Kraken customers? Is that your preferred exchange? Yeah, they have Kraken Pro, which is pretty much the same thing as Coinbase Pro. Not Coinbase One, which has a membership fee. But if you do want to stake, you can do that through Kraken Pro. I apologize. And that's just basically their advanced trading platform with the same liquidity as Kraken, but gives you more control over your trades, more data on your charts, and so on. So very much like Coinbase Pro. So they're more advanced platform. So check that out. Anyway, Cardano, we mentioned yesterday, was going to be having this hard fork. It has gone through the Plomin hard fork that decentralizes governance. It says here, the biggest change coming to Cardano with Plomin is the full implementation of delegate representatives, DREPs, who will vote on governance issues on behalf of ADA token holders. So it reminds me a lot of EOS. It reminds me of platforms like Steemit, like Hive. You delegate your tokens over to a delegate who votes for a class of folks, for people who delegate their tokens there. Previously, Cardano's three founding entities, the Cardano Foundation, Input Output Global, IOHK, and Emergo, were in charge of governance changes and triggering chain upgrades. Moving forward, the keys they held and those responsibilities are delegated to new Cardano governance groups. So hopefully this isn't one of those situations where those who are now in charge of governing have outsized power because through staking and other means they have amassed more tokens and therefore more influence. Very likely, I assume a lot of the folks at the head of the Cardano Foundation, IOHK, Charles Hoskins' company, and Emergo, they probably have still like the highest voting power going forward here. But it is a positive step, and I like to see democratization happen whenever possible. Anyway, it says here, head of Plomin stake pool operators needed to upgrade their nodes and approve the upgrade with a 51% vote. As of this week, it went through. Roughly 85% of nodes were with this new version, allowing the network to proceed with these changes. And Giorgio Zanetti, the chief technical officer of the Cardano Foundation, said, in short, you want to make Cardano faster, we want to add some privacy-preserving features, and we want to add more utility for developers. So he's talking here about kind of the mindset going forward here, what kind of roadmap to expect, but it is decentralized, so it's not a strict sort of roadmap. There are no people, no entities directly at the top of it. But these are some of the aims going forward that we should be expecting. Privacy preserving, awesome. More utility for developers. Can they catch up to Ethereum? Maybe. And making Cardano faster. Everyone always wants faster and lower fees while preserving security. So hopefully they continue to make fronts in that regard as well. You guys holding Cardano? Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, Renee. Reminding everyone to hit that like button. Yeah, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, you want to catch more in the future, we want to make sure that this show gets out there. Also helps me to share this kind of stuff with other folks, makes the chat more entertaining. Then please remember to hit that like button. It goes a long way, believe it or not, with the algorithm. And yeah, just you guys chatting out here in the live chat also helps a lot with the algorithm. So and if anything you guys can do, you OG Cryptos News guys, to share the videos. I know you do an awesome job. Thank you for that, Renee Pop, for sharing it on X and everywhere else. If you guys can share the stream when it's live anywhere, just like share a link on Facebook, whatever, even if you don't have any followers, that would go a long way to helping us here. Thank you guys so very much. Grayscale files for XRP ETF with the NYSC, so this would possibly enable their XRP trust to become an ETF and then trade on the New York Stock Exchange, giving a boost potentially to XRP and Grayscale alike. The trust is one of the world's largest XRP investment funds by assets under management. As of the date of this filing, the trust has approximately $16.1 million in assets under management. 5 in its shares are held by American investor accounts seeking exposure to XRP without the cost and complexity of purchasing the asset directly. Yeah. Like early on, 2016, 2017, I just have always been and I still continue to be a big proponent of education, getting folks to understand custody, but because I realize it's really not so simple. Yeah, something that might seem simple to you, like running a run command on Windows, can seem like the biggest nightmare for somebody else. We all have different levels of technical proficiency, and people are so prone to hacks. So they still want to engage with this. They want to have the assets, say I have XRP or whatever. And so this is a good means for them to hold it, for different institutions, for funds to be able to do it, to hold these kinds of assets. And so I think that this is cool to see the development of more of an integration with Wall Street and these different assets. So props there if you're an XRP holder. I think that's good news. Too bad it's Grayscale. I'm not the biggest fan of Grayscale, if you guys know. I got my personal reasons and things that go way beyond personal. And the same thing with XRP, like all these different rumors about them lobbying against a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Not a good look. But what can we do? We can only shit on Ripple so much. Oops, poo-poo. Anyway, Ross Ulbricht talked about how he's back on his account, and his wife had previously been the one to take whatever he wrote in prison and post on his account. Now he's back at the keyboard, being a keyboard warrior, a crypto denizen like us. On crypto Twitter, he wrote, "Oops, the first thing I tried to do on X, and I screw it up. I accidentally deleted my last post about taking over the account. 6.5 years ago, my wife created this X account to give me my voice back. All this time, she relayed my messages to you word for word. Starting now, my fingertips are on the keyboard. Here we are 1 week after my release. Our prayers are finally answered." Really happy for him. Beautiful. She must be so happy that she, held on for so long. Nice, Make America great again. She's wearing a Trump hat. I guess it makes sense. Since Trump pardoned him, I would be a big fan of Trump, especially as her too. So anyway, happy to see that. In potentially not so great news, I guess, for Ross Ulbricht. It says here he lost $12 million on a meme coin. He accidentally nuked the price of a pump fund coin sent to him while trying to provide liquidity on Radium. Anyway, it says he initialized the liquidity pool at the wrong price when he got these tokens for free. $1.5 million of the $1.5 million of the token, 5% supply, was instantly taken by an MEV bot, then sold into the existing pool. Then he did it again, and he lost another $10.5 million, 35% of the supply. You can see it crash back down. So he kind of like rugged himself and everyone else, and someone who controlled this MEV bot made mad money. But that's been the game, right? MEV bots with taking advantage of arbitrage way quicker than any human could notice these things. So he's learning quickly that the rules have changed in crypto. So folks are saying it's not easy to run this place like the Silk Road website. This meme coin garbage is a little bit more tricky. 11 years ago, 11 years is a long time. His skills might be outdated. So he's back on the keyboard. Just gotta be careful with them fat fingers. Anyway, it was free. It was a free token, so I don't think he's too upset about it. And he's been getting donations left and right of various sorts to try to, of course, just market their thing. If he gets it and he announces it, you're pumping your own token. So makes sense. Just like you see with Vitalik getting a bunch of meme coins. Anyway, Tether is coming to the Lightning Network on Bitcoin, announced here by Lightning Labs. Today we're announcing that Tether is coming to Bitcoin and Lightning. So Tether booted off Crypto.com, but it comes back in a big way in a more decentralized fashion here on the Bitcoin network, giving a good boost to the Bitcoin Lightning Network, and I think good adoption for USDT there. With the security and decentralization of Bitcoin and the speed and scalability of Lightning, USDT will bring hundreds of millions of users and trillions in volume. It all comes back to Bitcoin. Hey, good morning, Miles. It's always morning in crypto, isn't it, right? GM applies evening, afternoon, so GM, bro. Anyway, Dennis Porter announced here that Montana is the latest state that is going to be creating a bill for a treasury. He wrote, "I can confirm that a bill which enables a state of Montana to invest up to $50 million in Bitcoin, digital assets, stable coins, or precious metals has been introduced by Representative Lammers and co-sponsored by Representative Schomer." This is pretty much, by the way, the only source that I have for this. I could not find anything on CoinDesk, any major news article in crypto. Those just others who kind of look at this tweet and then expand upon it, talk about the history, talk about the different states that are introducing reserves, notably 15 states, including Florida, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Ohio, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Texas, Wyoming, Massachusetts, South Dakota, Utah, Arizona, Illinois, Kentucky, and Montana, who are now introducing Bitcoin reserves. I think we're going to be crossing a crucial psychological point there at the 25 state marker, and that's coming in way faster than I would have expected. It's a real trend. It's a paradigm shift that we've been seeing over the last few months, and it is incredible to witness. Anyway, massive. Talks about the Czech Republic, but before we get into the Czech Republic and the Czech Bank, which I've been talking about over the last 2 days, let's take a look at comments from... And I feel like I always end these videos, guys, with the most cringy things, and I apologize, but this one is pretty relevant. And if you feel cringe, then, I'm with you there, right? ECB President Lagarde, European Central Bank, says she's confident Bitcoin won't be added to the reserves of any central banks of the General Council. You have to hear it from her mouth. I couldn't have... Okay.
On this matter that you referred to, and whether reserves of central bank should or could include Bitcoins, I think there is a view around the table of the Governing Council, and most likely the General Council as well, that reserves have to be liquid, that reserves have to be secure, that they have to be safe, that they should not be plagued by the suspicion of money laundering or other criminal activity.
Hold on, I have to rewind. You have to hear this again.
Should or could include Bitcoins. I think there is a view around the table of the Governing Council.
So I'm just going to translate. So the mafia here at the ECB has a view.
Most likely the General Council as well.
So like the people who know stuff, you're stupid if you like Bitcoin. We're the intelligent ones.
Reserves have to be liquid.
Liquid. Okay, so Bitcoin isn't liquid 24/7, more liquidity perhaps, and ease of access to liquidity than having to create an account and possibly get your account banned. You don't have to ask for permission with Bitcoin.
That reserves have to be secure.
Secure? Is there a more secure network that has stood the test of time that is literally secured in a decentralized fashion and growing in security by the moments? Really?
That they have to be safe.
Safe. Okay. All right. Again, who has lost Bitcoin because your Bitcoin has been double spent because the network isn't safe? The code operates just as expected.
That they should not be plagued by the suspicion of money laundering or other criminal activities.
Oh, man. Yeah. Okay, no, fiat is not used. The euro is not used for money laundering. Never has been. Or financing. It's a joke. It's almost like she doesn't know anything. It's so upsetting. Yeah, thank you, Renee.
And as a result, I'm confident that reserves will not enter, that Bitcoins will not enter the reserves of any of the central banks of...
She said Bitcoins, plural, right? I'm pretty sure the plural for Bitcoins is Bitcoin.
The General Council. I had a good conversation with my colleague from the Czech Republic, and I leave it to him to make whatever announcement
it's not
he wants
frequent,
to make,
and maybe I've never even said on the show that I actually say I probably hate someone, but if I had to like ever pick somebody based on their commentary and just general dishonesty, if anything, or stupidity and ignorance, really at her best, this is someone who's supposed to be leading Europe, right? As a central bank president, and she is shooting themselves. She's shooting them in the foot. Meanwhile, you have the U.S. racing ahead. You have China taking the lead, some might say, with AI, which is awesome to see. Capitalistic AI, dangerous but fantastic, because I'm hearing we're going to get these new reasoning models O3 mini soon on the ChatGPT app, and they're going to have to push forward releases, according to Sam Altman. So really good capitalism at work in AI. We have good capitalism at work within crypto as well, whether you think it's right that meme coins should be up there or not. It allows anybody to have their vote with what they buy. But here, it's like, just such a sitting on a high horse that it's hard for me to take it very lightly what she's saying. I feel for you guys over in Europe. I'm not going to lie.
But I'm confident that he's convinced, as we all are, of the necessity to have liquid, secure, and safe reserves. Thank you.
Yeah, that smirk. That smirk, Merzet. I wish she was laughing at herself. Ugh. Anyway, she mentioned the Czech bank. The Czech central bank, and they can say whatever they want to do, but our board of governors, look at them over there in Czech. Anyway, here's a public release, or a press release rather, from the Czech National Bank, CNB, to assess options for broadening investment to include other asset classes. Oh yeah, if we want to still be good with Lagarde and others, we can't really announce our plans outright. We're going to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum. We're going to buy some Doge, bros. We're just going to say, other asset classes, right? At its meeting on Thursday, after discussing a document on international reserve management in 2024, the bank board of the Czech National Bank approved a proposal to analyze the options for investing in additional asset classes. The central bank has been increasingly diversifying its investments over the last few years as part of its reserve management strategy. At the proposal of Governor Ales Mikkel, who we talked about 2 videos ago, the CNB is to assess whether it would be appropriate in terms of a diversification and return to include other asset classes in the reserves as well. Based on the results of the analysis, the bank board will then decide how to proceed further. No changes will be implemented in this area. Until then, any changes in the reserve portfolios will be disclosed in the quarterly information on the CNB's international reserves and the CNB's annual report. This is not even talking about like whether to include these different asset classes. If you look closely, it's a proposal to analyze the options for investing in additional asset classes. So yeah, they're going to be looking specifically at asset classes and what options they have for perhaps custodying it, what kind of allocation they're going to have. But to me, this looks like they've already decided that they are going forward with this plan. It's a matter of researching the next steps. So really positive and the straight antithesis of what we heard from Lagarde here. Ugh. I can't anymore. And then the final cringe, as I finish here, is Michael Saylor on the cover of Forbes, joining the likes of folks like Sam Bankman-Fried, who have also graced there, and Theranos, right? Elizabeth of Theranos, who also graced the cover. So here's I gotta say though, I gotta give it to him. This is a fantastic picture of Michael Saylor. I had to look at it just because I was like, dang, I want to look like him when I get old. Anyway, the Bitcoin Alchemist, why Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy is a brilliant blueprint for manipulating traditional finance to harness the pixie dust of cryptomania. This seems like such a weird subtitle. A blueprint for manipulating traditional finance. That's not good. Manipulation usually is not seen as something positive. Traditional finance, so you're duping the Wall Street folks to harness the pixie dust. So like pixie dust is both magical and crypto is absolutely magical, but it almost feels like they're talking about cryptomania is a bad thing. Pixie dust as something that's just whimsical, fake, vapid, fleeting, imaginary. So this is the worst kind of subtitle that I would want my face under. But MicroStrategy, we're really Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy, really is not a crypto native. He is someone who is definitely more of a Wall Street guy and has just used Bitcoin to further his own agenda and as something to get folks to rally behind him. I think he enjoys the publicity. I don't think he's good for the network. I think that, in fact, some of what MicroStrategy is doing could be catastrophic and a potential cause for a bear market sometime in the future. But at least he got a good picture. Anyway, that's the show I have for you guys. I did not pull up a quote of the day, but we'll leave it there. I appreciate you guys so very much for joining me. I'm positive about Ethereum, though. I'm positive about some of these freeing developments that are coming out that are actually helping folks and those who are out there in favor of actually helping folks. Anyways, take care, everyone. Much love. Catch you next time and stay cryptic. Peace.